It's time to answer my most asked question on the channel. How do I build items in the early game? What is better, Noonquiver or attacks with boots? Do I go for, let's say I have 7 gold, do we go for boots and dagger, or do we go for like a longsword and a dagger, right? What do we do early game? And I compiled tier list with a ton of your answers basically, but I will teach you today how to build items without needing something like this list, and it's not that hard actually. So let's start at the beginning. Level 1, you spawn, you buy this, okay? You buy Doran Blade the potion, because as I wrote here, Doran Blade is worth 715 gold, and it's 159% gold efficient. So you can no longer start longswords and like refillable or longsword and 3 potions. It's not good anymore. You are wasting precious stats from the Doran Blade. That is just overpowered in my opinion, right? So in this example, we are going to build towards Kraken Slayer, because I think most of the ADCs nowadays build Kraken. If they don't build Kraken, they go for a Stormrazor, which is pretty much the same build path, except there is no recurve bow, there is just this AQIRYS shard, whatever you call it. But they are both 700 gold, so it doesn't really matter, right? The same principles apply here. So another actually a couple other important questions before we start. What's better, Noonquiver or Berserkers? Right? This is very, very important, because if you don't know to answer this question, you are kind of stuck in your shop thinking, well, what should I buy here? I have no idea, right? So for most ADCs, in my opinion, like Jinx, I don't know, Zaya, like, who knows what, Caitlyn, anything, you should start Noonquiver, because it has 30 AD, 15 attack speed, right? And the passive here says deals 20 physical damage to minions and monsters, which means it's a laning phase item. Riot designed this item to help you in the early game, in the laning phase, and that's when you buy this item, and it's super, super helpful. And there is just one reason why you should not buy this as your first item, right? It's because your ADC might be a bit more special, like let's say Ashe and Aphelios. Two really good examples of where you want to buy boots. Why? Because Ashe uses movement speed really well, because her basic attack's slow for every basic attack, right? It just slows it like crazy. And if you slow people and you have speed, they never escape you, or you escape them every time. And let's say Aphelios, right? Aphelios has attack damage on his passive when he levels up. 5 AD per level, or something like that, something similar. Which means, you know, after a few levels, let's say you're stuck under turret, well, usually you will need like 20 AD, like 2 longswords or something like that, to be able to farm under turret. But with Aphelios you don't need to, right? So which means you can buy boots and get away with it, because you can farm under turret, you have enough AD in the early game, right? But again, most ADCs, Noonquiver, special cases, boots. And I have examples for both here, but we're gonna focus more on Noonquiver, right? And then we're gonna take a special case with boots. So first of all, actually I forgot a couple more questions. Do we ever buy Cloak of Agility in the early game? And the answer to that is always no, with one exception, Ashe. Because Ashe converts crit into just more damage per basic attacks, right? So you don't crit basically on Ashe. Which means that on every other ADC, you should never buy this, because, I should never buy this before Noonquiver and boots, because if you crit early game with 15%, it's super unreliable, and it's hard to farm. If you buy crit early game and you try to farm, you're not gonna have fun. You're gonna lose a lot of minions. So it's basically a reverse Cull. Instead of giving you gold for farming, it makes you lose more minions, right? And speaking of Cull, when do we buy Cull? Well, Cull and Potions, basically, and Control Wards. First of all, Control Wards, your ADC, you don't really buy them, unless they have Twitch or Evelyn, right? Because you don't want to waste your gold early game, it's precious. But Cull and Potions, I would say before like minute 8, 10, around there, doesn't matter. It's how you feel as well. And if you have like good gold to buy them, right? They're good, they're gonna help you, and Personally, I only buy Cull if... I'll show you actually. If, for example, we recall it for 50 gold, right? I'm not gonna buy a sword. I can just buy Cull. Why not, right? So let's start with the basics. Like, let's say you die early game, you get a kill. Cool, we get 300 gold. You buy either a dagger or boots. And when you start Noonquiver, of course you want to buy a dagger, so you can start working towards your Noonquiver. If not, if you want to start boots, you start with boots. It's pretty simple, it's the beginning. With 350 gold we go longsword, for 400 we go longsword and a potion, again. In the early game, don't be too afraid to buy a potion. Never have more than one at once in your inventory. Because chances are you're not even going to use them. Like in a lot of my games, I'm actually up to laning phase with a potion still in my inventory. That's not good, right? So this is why I'm saying, like, before like minute 8, you just buy maybe a potion, 2 maximum, but then you never buy them again, right? So for 400 it's that, 450 is a Cull, of course, 500, 550, 600 is quite awkward if you want to go Noonquiver, right? Because let's say you have 550, you might buy a longsword and then it's like you are with 200 gold in your inventory. What do? You know, it's awkward. So at least we buy a Cull, a potion, and we kind of spend our gold this way. And when we have 600 gold, if you start boots, the answer is simple, right? You just buy a dagger and boots. Cool, 600. But let's say you start Noonquiver and you might be like, what if I buy double dagger? Well, you're kind of making, like, delaying your Noonquiver, so I would say just go Cull. Although double dagger is not bad, but usually, especially if you want to start Noonquiver, your champion already has some attack speed in their kit. Like Jinx, for example, you have attack speed on your Q, right? You play Xayah, you have attack speed on W, which means AD is more valuable because if you stack attack speed on attack speed on attack speed, your DPS is lower than having a split between attack speed and attack damage. That, you know, you have more damage if you do that, more DPS. So, you know, like these cases with 500, 600, usually you don't recall with this little gold. So it's like an investment recall. You recall for a Cull and then go back, whatever. You play for the next recall, right? But now let's get into the higher gold values. Like 650 is quite nice. You just buy a dagger and a longsword, right? If you start boots again, you buy boots, a dagger, and a health potion. Why not? 700 is also super, super nice. You just buy 2 longswords, 20 AD. You can farm under turret, no problem right now. 750 is the same with just a potion, you know. And then we have another like cool special case. 750 gold, right? You have 750 gold. What do you do? It's like you could buy, exactly like I said here, 2 swords and a potion. And most of the times I do this. Most of the times I just do this. I like Noonquiver. But if you really like Cull, like you just don't think you're gonna fight in this laning phase at all, you're just gonna farm, you're playing against Ezreal or something, you could opt for a Cull and a dagger, right? It's fine. The dagger goes towards the Noonquiver, Cull is just for the early game, cool. You could do that if you like Cull. Personally, I would just go for this. I just like longswords, it's cool. And then let's say you have 800 gold, right? You could go again 2 swords if you like. But if you go 2 swords, it's like you're sitting with 100 gold in your inventory for no reason. So why not buy a Cull? You know? Like most people ask me when should I buy a Cull, and my answer is always whenever you have the gold for it. Because if you force a Cull at, let's say, I don't know, 700 gold. You have 700 gold and buy a Cull. Well, you're missing out on 2 swords for a Cull, so you're basically missing out on 13 attack damage. That's not good. You shouldn't force Cull purchases based on your lane. You should always buy Cull based on our gold, in my opinion, because otherwise it's not efficient. So for the 750 gold here, yeah, I wouldn't recommend buying Cull. Like, if you really want to, maybe sure, but again, 2 swords OP. And 800 gold, 850, 900 is a bit awkward. You could again go 2 swords and call it a day. Or you can go for the Cull, more gold efficiency. Again, Cull is really cool. I love Cull in this, when I'm between 800 and 900, Cull and a sword also means I can farm under turret. I'm pretty sure 17 attack damage is enough. I think so. I need to test it, I guess. But from my experience, you can buy Cull Longsword and farm under turret without any issues. And now we get towards 1000 gold. So if you start boots, 900 means double daggers and boots, right? That's simple. 950 would be longsword, dagger, and boots. Why? This is actually a good question here. So if you have 900 gold, right, and you decide to buy Cull, perfect. But what if you have 950? Do you buy Cull and a sword? You could buy Cull, sword, and a potion with 950 gold, right? But what about buying longsword, dagger, so you're closer towards Noonquiver compared to a Cull, and then you start working on your boots as well, right? Personally, this is what I do when I have 950 gold. We start working on the boots as well, we start working on the Noonquiver. It's fine, no big deal. And 1000 gold is probably one of my favorite when I cannot afford Noonquiver. You just have 1000 gold. Buy 2 longswords, a dagger, you are all the components from the Noonquiver, you have 20 AD, you have some attack speed, it's great. And here we have our first question. If I have 1000 gold and I can afford 2 longswords, farm under turret, why don't I buy boots instead of a dagger? Because, you know, honestly, for ADC's movement speed, so basic boots, just the 25 movement speed, it's pretty good. It's a pretty good stat. It works well for immobile ADCs like Jinx, right? But personally, I want to do everything possible to just get Noonquiver as soon as possible, because this 20 physical damage to minions, man, it's just too good. You can't skip this, it's too good. It makes you control the wave way easier, honestly, in my opinion, and you farm better with it, so it's a win-win. But of course, your preferences matter as well, right? So 1050, you just buy another potion. 1100, it's a bit awkward, you just buy another potion, right? And if you decide to start boots with 1100, congrats, you have boots. That's perfect. And let's say you are at 1100 gold and you are like, I want to start Noonquiver, but I can only afford boots. Should you buy boots? Should you sell Doran and buy Noonquiver instead? Well, honestly, if you want to start Noonquiver and you have 1100, just buy 2 swords and a dagger. It's gonna be fine. Don't worry about it too much. And you shouldn't force boots if you don't want boots, even though you can afford them. Because, yeah, they are good, but on Jinx, I have attack speed on Q, I have attack speed on boots, too much attack speed stacking, no attack damage. I deal 0 damage, right? It's not that great. And yeah, the 45 movement speed is great, but I think I'd rather have some damage in the early game, especially because Jinx is super weak early, so some attack damage is gonna help you a lot. 1150 gold is another cool base, because at 1000 you buy 2 swords and a dagger, but now you are like, I have the option to buy Cull now, right? So if it's still quite early in the game, like before minute 8, most likely it is, when you have this much gold first recall, you could buy a Cull. If you don't want to, you feel like you don't want to stack, cool, go for a dagger. It's good. But you know, buying Cull here is super gold efficient, because you just spend every single penny, and it's great. You're doing fine. It's great, efficient, 1100, anything. Okay. Now, an interesting situation. Let's say I have 1250 gold. And you're like, do I need to grid for a wave? Oh, do I stay in base and wait? Personally, I'm gonna stay in base. I don't care, man. I'm staying in base. If I need less than 50 gold, I'm staying in base. I'm selling my potion. Again, I have many cases where I'm not even using a potion. I'm gonna sell my potion. I'm gonna stay in base. And I'm gonna buy Noonquiver. Then I'm gonna go back to lane. And I'm gonna be happy. And life is good. Yeah, you might miss a couple minions, but it's like you are stronger now. So you're gonna make up for that with your new power. But you don't have to. You don't have to wait. You can just settle on the Cull buy. If you don't buy Cull, just buy the components from Noonquiver. Cool, whatever. It's not a big deal. If you really want to prio tempo and being to lane faster, maybe there's a dragon coming up soon and your jungle is bot side and you decide to recall anyway. Well, maybe you don't want to wait. So it's up to you again. But usually it's fine, whatever. Don't overthink things. Okay. Now, the next recalls are gonna be a bit less less realistic. Usually you don't recall with more than 1300. But some lanes, there's not much action. You're just waiting, right? So 1600 buy some extra boots. Why not? 1900 buy boots and a dagger. And there's another good question here. Like if I have 1600, why don't I don't know. Why don't I work towards finishing my Kraken? Why don't I buy a dagger? Well, the answer to that would be the fact that, again, you're immobile, and after your first recall, you tend to go in the river a bit more, maybe for a dragon, more skirmishes, invades, and maybe enemies have ults now. Movement speed becomes better and better and better and more valuable. So, if you have Noonquiver, I would say, yeah, buy boots. If you have 1600, buy some boots after that. 1900 boots and a dagger, right? But I talked about how important boots are, and at 2000 gold, there's Noonquiver and Recurve bow, no boots. Why is that? Well, this one is more up to you. Personally, if I have 2000 gold first base, spending every single gold and getting more attack speed, getting 15 magic damage on hit when you have attack speed on Jinx with Q, I don't know, it feels great, right? You have a ton of damage. So in a lot of my games when I have 2000 gold, or let's say I base once, I buy Noonquiver, and the second time I base, I have 700 gold, right? I don't really want to buy boots and a dagger. I think I'd rather just buy Recurve, because more damage, cool, right? But again, it's up to you. Usually you want to buy Noonquiver, then boots, then finish your Kraken. It's usually better. It's more like you have more damage, more attack speed, you have boots, movement speed important again. But sometimes when I buy Noonquiver, I have 700 gold, I buy Recurve, then the next base I have 1000 gold. Oh well, I guess I'm finishing my Kraken without boots. That happens. It's fine. It happens. And speaking of which, here I have a nice example. Lower. So let's say you have, I didn't actually put this example here, I forgot. But let's say you have 2800 gold, right? And you still have your Doran blade, which sells for 180. Okay. Do I sell Doran for first item? Right? You might not get this situation first recall. But let's say you have Noonquiver, and then you second recall you buy Recurve, and then third recall you have like 800 gold, and you need 200 more to buy Kraken. Should you sell Doran? Well, I do it sometimes, yeah. So maybe you should consider it. Right? If you don't want to, that's fine. But you should consider it. But if you still think you're gonna be in laning phase, and in laning phase Doran is super important, super nice stats, maybe you don't sell it and you just start working on boots instead, right? That would help you as well. But again, it's up to you. And another cool situation, 2600 gold, right? Let's say you base first for Noonquiver, and then second base, you have like 1300 again. What do? Do you just buy boots and have 200 gold left over? Or do you buy Recurve and boots and dagger? In my opinion, this is better, right? The upgraded boots only give you 20%, like not 20%, 20 more movement speed, right? And how much attack speed they have? 35, Noonquiver is 15, this is 12, so it's like you gain 15 magic damage on hit, the exchange of 20 movement speed and like a little bit of attack speed, which in my opinion is worth it. So I would go for Recurve here. Or if you go Stormlaser, I would go for the shard, it's worth it. But again, up to you. If you want to buy boots and you really need them, and they have like, I don't know, Seraphine, you need to dodge abilities, Hook from Blitzcrank or Thresh. Boots are good. Yeah, go boots. Boots, again, like, boots are never bad, but I feel like Noonquiver has higher priority over boots on most ADC champions. And that's how I build, right? And also another tip, I highly recommend you use item sets. Because item sets make it so you have everything you need here, right? You don't have to go recommend it, blah blah blah, all items, oh, where's my item? No, you have everything here. Besides that, another mistake I see a lot of people make in my coaching sessions is the fact that when they level up, like they play the game, they level up, cool, right? When they get level 9 and you have an item set, right? Look what happens to this farsight alteration. Like, because I have a farsight here in my item set at the start, at the beginning, when you get level 9, oh my god, it lights up. So you never forget to buy this if you have item sets. But recently my settings and my item sets got reset, all of them. And because of it, I played some games without item sets. And then I found myself at like level 13 without blue art. And situations where I needed blue art and I didn't have it. I felt so bad because it never recommends it. And the only way for you to see blue art is to go in all items, and it's not even here. So you have to go on the left here and look for it like that. But when do you do that? You should just buy potion, never look at it back again. Or you don't buy potions after minute 10. So it's like you never go here to see the farsight alternation. So that's why I use item sets. Also, another cool tip about item sets, right? Let's say I want to buy a health potion. Look, it did not go slot number 2. It went to slot number 3. Let's say we have other items there, like a Runan, right? And we buy a potion. Oh, Runan got moved. Potion is number 3. Isn't that amazing? Let's add some gold. Let's say I want some... we are late game already, we have items, right? Let's say I buy my stopwatch. Boom, number 3. You can set the number, of course. You put number 1, number 2, number 7, up to you. But for me, number 3 is more comfortable. And when I buy a stopwatch, when I buy QSS, they automatically go in the number 3 slot for me. And I don't have to just go fight, press number 3. Oh, my stopwatch was number 7. Unlucky, right? That will never happen to you. And this is why item sets, in my opinion, again, they make you buy faster. They make you not forget about farsight. They make you not forget about Cull, right? And players, I see them like going through items here. Let's say they want to buy a sword, they go here, buy a sword. I think that's wrong. Let's say you're early game and you buy and want to buy something. You click on the first item. Oh, all the components are already here, right? On the right. Oh, we have 1000 gold. Perfect. Let's go, right? It's much better than, I don't know, going here, ooh, Kraken, then we click, or like going the all items, oh, it's a swords, there you go, right? It's much better to have item sets. So I hope I helped you. I hope this video is not too long, but I really hope this has helped you. And in my opinion, again, item sets, why am I leveling abilities? Item sets make you recall, and right when you, I'll actually show you. Let's say you have 1000 gold, right? You are here, you are recalling, you are almost full HP, 1000 gold. Okay, you recall. Boom, we right click on the map, bam, 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 boom, done. We did it. We wasted not a single millisecond. We instantly went to lane, we instantly purchased everything. And when you are recalling with, I don't know, let's do another experiment. You are here, you're chilling, right? And you have these items, and you have 600 gold, right? Or like 650. Let's say I have 645 gold right now. Then we have 650. Cool. Okay, I know exactly what to buy. Do that, you buy this, boots, boom, boom. Oh, I didn't get a potion. I mean, I have home guards, but if I didn't have home guards, I would have been able to buy potion too, right? So, again, item sets, OP. And if you think about your gold values like this, you break them up like this, again, you're gonna purchase way faster. You're gonna save time, and time is money, time is tempo. Situations, there's a ton of situations where you recall, team decides to do Drake, and when they start the fight, you're like here instead of here, because you didn't buy stuff fast enough, and that might make the difference in a fight, right? That might be enough. A lot of the times it's enough, and every second matters, right? But yeah, thank you so much everyone for watching. Let's buy an Infinity Edge because it's funny. And I'll see you next time. Take care.